The powerful driving force is sincere love of one's country, aspiration to work for common well-being and achieve success in most diverse areas, loyalty to the fundamentals of law distinguish you. Mr. Valery Zorkin, as head of the constitutional law, has always stood for the spirit of the Constitution. His great merit in strengthening Russian sovereignty and federalism, as well as developing Tatarstan and the entire Russia, belongs to Mintimir Shaimiev, a strong, unique politician, a man of great wisdom and responsibility. It is a great honor to me to be awarding you with the Order of the Saint Apostle Andrei. Precise and coordinated work of different authorities determines directly the lives of many citizens, and I would like to thank everyone who work with commitment in state service. So, dear friends, being part of the fate of one's country and being willing to sacrifice themselves for the interests of the country has always distinguished Russian people. Today in this audience, we have participants of the special military operation who represent the entire national multitude of our country. We are very proud of their feats. Alexander Kolesov not only fulfilled his combat duties with courage, but also took his friends out from under enemy fire. Russian Guards Captain Rasputikov is being awarded the Order of Courage. We're paying tribute to the courage of all fighters and the courage of specialists who help establish normal lives in the regions. And we celebrate warriors from different regions of Russia who all fight together for their motherland, for Russia. Today, among those receiving the awards are representatives of Russia's traditional religions. The word of a priest is especially important for soldiers, especially troops on the combat line. A great role is played by teachers in school who not only convey moral values, who will, for many years to come, will determine person's deeds. So it is with humble respect that I will give awards to teachers today, whose students have become heroes of Russia. Bringing up children is joy and everyday labor. And families with many children have always been honored in Russia. So I'm glad to welcome here mothers who were awarded the title of Mother Heroes of Russia. We're grateful to those who on very tight schedules guarantee the strategic security and sovereignty of our country. Working with high technologies in the defense sector, aerospace sector, and the professionalism of Russia's astronaut has always been respected. Petr Dubrov and Oleg Novitsky have been through many complicated and complex space missions. They have worked together as ISS crews. I will be very glad to give them their deserved awards. And of course, we're all united by the multifaceted Russian culture, which carries the very important humanitarian function of connecting generations and cultures. My sincerest congratulations to all of you, dear friends. I wish you best of luck and new achievements on your way. Thank you very much. By order of the President of the Russian Federation for courage and heroic deeds while doing their civic duty in the special military operation, the title of the Hero of Russia is awarded to Alexander Kolesov, commander of a volunteer regiment, Batur Bars II, Republic of Sakha. Mr. President, dear friends, I'm very thankful to our President, Vladimir Putin, for this honor and his trust. It is a great honor for me to be receiving this high award from my motherland. It's a great honor and a great responsibility. And it is not only my award, it is an award also for our battle comrades, those who gave their lives defending our country. This award is a high evaluation of our deeds in a special military operation. In combat, only mutual trust, mutual support, and mutual help from my brothers in arms can help us achieve our goals. I would like to express my gratitude to my fellow Yakutians, mobilized and contracted volunteers. Together with their brothers from all over Russia, they have been fighting on the battle line, defending our country. I would like to thank construction workers, medics, volunteers who work in Donbass, the leadership of my republic and the common people of my republic who have been helping our troops and their families, making their contribution to our common victory. We're inspired by examples of the legendary heroes of years past. Their deeds are immortal, just as immortal are the feats of today's heroes. Today, the whole West has gone against us with the goal of destroying our country, to trample it. But we, descendants of glorious ancestors, will never let that happen. This has been, this is, and will be the case forever. Our cause is right. The enemy will be defeated. The victory will be ours. Thank you. For the courage and heroic deeds in a long-term space mission at the International Space Station, the title of the Hero of the Russian Federation and the honorary title of the pilot astronaut of the Russian Federation is given to Peter Dubrov, test cosmonaut of the Gagarin cosmonaut training facility. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Mr. President. There are very many words of gratitude that I would like to say to those who have helped me on my way, my family, my friends. First, I'd like to say that we cosmonauts can work and do our work in orbit because so many people work down here helping us. The creators of our reliable space machinery, those who train us for space missions, those who send us to the orbit and meet us down here when we come back. It's thanks to their work that we are still rightfully considered one of the leading space superpowers of the world. And of course, it is a special honor for me to stand in the same ranks with those who received their awards earned on the battlefield. Now that the masks have been thrown away and the Western Nazism has shown its true face, the grandchildren of those who fought and defended us in World War II, now their grandchildren stand not only to defend innocent people, but the entire world. Thank you very much. For great merits in strengthening the Institute of Family, bringing up children In glorifying maternity, the title of the hero mother is given to Ludmila Badmaeva, a mother of 10 children, Republic of Buryatia.
Kadyrova, Medni Musaeva, mother of 13 children, Chechen Republic. For merits before the homeland and a contribution to the implementation of state affairs, the Order of Apostle Andrew award is given to Andrei Zorkin, chairman of the Constitutional Court of the Russian Federation. Mintimer Taimiev, State Councillor of the Republic of Tatarstan, chairman of the Republican Council for the Reconstruction of Monuments and Places of History of the Republic of Tatarstan. Friends, Mr. President, I would like to say that thanks to the work that I'm able to offer throughout my life, we've been able to create the conditions for further contributions for the sake of our nation, for the sake of our country, a multi-ethnic, multi-confessional country. I'm certain that each and every one of us is following what's happening, and despite all the difficulties that we're currently facing, we are currently parts of very complicated developments politically, economically. But one thing I would like to stress is that our path has never been an easy one. And because of my age, I can say this clearly and say this on behalf of everyone, that I express my greatest, deepest gratitude to the president of our country in this very difficult situation. And in fact, the development indicators of the Russian Federation, even this year, despite everything that's happening throughout the world, are still high. We continue to get stronger, more unified. I have always been part of that process, so I think I have the moral right to say that. I can say that you have successfully been able to unify our our nation, our country, which is very diverse. You've achieved great solidarity, and you just have to look at the main indicators of the development of the Russian Federation in the past few years, and I would even say you look at the last quarter of this year in terms of economic indicators, our country is very much prepared to face the situation that we live in. We will continue to strengthen and unify our country in the future. And it's a good thing that you have the understanding of the majority of all the people living in Russia. And thanks to your experience, your policies, your work is really successful. Once again, look at the main indicators relating to the development of the Russian Federation. I'm talking about major economic indicators, and I'm not even talking about the policies and the political advances that we're seeing. They're all very positive. Russia has known difficult times, but our patriotism, our inner readiness to work towards the betterment of our country, it all shows that we are strong and that we are united. And so this is the responsibility that we bear in as much as we can. And to see that the country continues to grow stronger and develop is once again that it develops things to in terms of its primary indicators of economic development. It's a very good thing, and this unity and this mutual understanding between the the government and the people, this was not an easy thing to achieve, but we can now confidently say that you have been very successful at that. We owe to you, and that would be an understatement, considering everything that has happened in the past and considering all that we have to deal with now. We owe you for becoming stronger and more resilient, and this is reflected in all the major indicators and numbers that we see now, and the position that Russia uh, holds now. So we've been able to work together as a people. This has never been easy. Nothing has ever been easy for Russians because we have a great potential. There hasn't been a lot of times when it's been easy for Russia, but now we stand strong. We are confident, but we have always been tested. We've always had to pay great price for our development, and now our generation is doing its best to to continue moving into the future, so that our diverse country, our countries that has seen a lot of struggle and strife and pain, so that now our unity and our decisiveness is real. We need to continue to maintain this unity of this very diverse country. They like to say that, our enemies like to say that this was a vulnerability of ours, that we were so diverse. But the existing generations were able to turn that into a real strength. We are decisive people. We have seen a lot. And the younger generation is also very strong. When you watch TV, you sometimes think about our children and grandchildren, that now they actually have something to show for themselves. They prosper. They, in fact, have abundance in many ways. They live in a strong and wealthy country, and they have things they want to protect. So they must show their strong will and continue to defend their homeland. And whatever happens next, we will overcome it because of the unity of our people, because of the unity of our country. So, but why do we have to deal with these problems? It's because there are many people in the world who would love to see us weak, but they won't have the pleasure of seeing us weakened. Our country is a strong one. We are developing the Northern Sea route. When we first went there, when we first explored those regions, we already knew what we're going to do there, and now these dreams are becoming a reality thanks to the work of our president. And so these efforts, even with the Northern Sea route, with all the fleets that we have there, that we built there, we are confident, we are more confident than ever. So we will be victorious, we will be successful. We've been through a lot, we've been through worse, and we are strong. Again, despite all the difficulties, we see our country developing successfully, becoming stronger, and I'd like to thank our president for being for doing all that, and uh, thank you.
for courage and high level of professionalism shown in the third long-term space mission as part of the crew on the International Space Station. The Order for Merit to Fatherland, the third degree, is being awarded to Oleg Novitsky, hero of the Russian Federation, instructor, test cosmonaut of the Gagarin Space Exploration and Cosmonaut Training Facility. I'm sorry we have been silent for 1 week while we were isolated. Mr. President, thank you very much for your high appreciation of the work of our crew. I'd like to thank everyone here and congratulate them on their high awards. A big thank you for your work, for your contribution to the cause of stabilization and peace, for the work you have been doing to provide moral and psychological support to our guys on the battle line. Well, our motherland has never had an easy time. Throughout our history, our enemies, mostly from the West, have tried to capture our land, to enslave our people, and try to defeat this gene of invincibility, this gene of national power, this gene of self-defiance, self-sacrifice, a gene that wakes up in every Belarus or Dagestani or Buryat when we see a direct threat to our native land, to our family. All the leaders of the Western states, experienced, elected or appointed, none of them have been smart enough to realize that we are undefeatable. We only have to bother for a short while to defeat anyone before going back to our peaceful lives. As a cosmonaut, as a ground attack pilot, I can assure you that me and my fellow cosmonauts are always ready for any mission, for any tasks. Not only in peaceful missions, but in combat missions as well. And please count on us. When we can't go to space anymore, we're still suitable for combat missions. Thank you. For great contribution to the development of parliamentarism, for legislative activity, and many years of faithful work, the Order for Merit to the Fatherland, third degree, is awarded to Leonid Slutsky, head of the Liberal Democratic Party faction in the State Duma of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation. Mr. President, dear colleagues, dear friends, this high state award I see as an award to my party, the Liberal Democratic Party of Russia, the party that stays true to its founder, great politician of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Zhirinovsky, who could look in the future and predict back then the times that we're going through now. Our party is growing bigger and stronger. There are now 350,000 members. LDPR is a party of young people. Young not in years, but in spirit. People of different ages, of different confessions, living in all regions of the Russian Federation. It's a party that looks into the future. And today, called upon by the Liberal Democratic Party of Russia, all factions of the Duma and many non-parliamentary political forces are standing shoulder to shoulder, as has always been the case when our great motherland has been going through a moment of truth in its history, in its development. And I'm grateful to you, Mr. President, for your trust that you've shown to me 14 months ago, when you made me one of the 14 figures in the conversation on the Russian part. However, the puppet Ukrainian regime, puppeted by the collective West, didn't want peace. They wanted a war, and the outcome of that war will be predictable. And today we see 4 new offices of LDPR established in Kherson, Donetsk, Lugansk, Zaporozhye. Our volunteer corps now has several thousand people in it. Deputies on all levels doing their best, doing everything possible and impossible to achieve the great victory as soon as possible. Mr. President, thank you very much to you for this high trust shown to me as chairman of the Committee on International Affairs of the State Duma. We are working profoundly and closely with the League of Arab States. We're working on a new concept of international policy of the Russian Federation. And I'm ready to carry on this important work. I am serving Russia, I'm serving LDPR, and victory in the special military operation. For merits in developing culture and sports and strengthening the defense potential of the Russian Federation, Order for Merits to Fatherland, 4th degree is awarded to Igor Butman, People's Artist of the Russian Federation, Creative Director of the Moscow Jazz Orchestra, Mr. President, dear friends, thank you for this high appreciation of my work. 23 years ago, here in Kremlin, we held a concert celebrating the state visit of President Bill Clinton to Russia. And back then, the concert featured Oleg Lundstrom and his orchestra, young musicians, and my jazz quartet. We made a good impression. So you, Mr. President, came back here and told us that Bill Clinton had appreciated very highly the art of our jazzmen. And Bill Clinton warmly remembered recently that concert and the impression that we made on him. So in 2018, St. Petersburg was chosen by UNESCO as the World Jazz Capital. We held an International Jazz Day there, watched by 2 billion people. And that festival was announced the best in the history of that event. In 2022, with the support of Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobenin, we held the first Moscow International Jazz Festival, attended by 2,100 people. We're holding one this year as well, so I'm inviting you in June, from 19th to 25th of June. We celebrated on a great scale the 100th anniversary of Russia's jazz, with the biggest concert taking place on the historical stage of the Bolshoi Theater. So young people are growing. So now we're discussing with the Russian jazz community the project of creating an educational cluster jazz center. And we're sure that jazz music has become a calling card of Russia, just as opera, ballet, and modern art. So thank you very much, Mr. President. I am serving Russia. Vasily Shestakov, President of the International Sambo Federation. Order of Alexander Nevsky is awarded to Vladimir Filipov, Director General of Tula Tochmash Factory. Alexander Shkolnik, Director of the Central Museum of the Great Patriotic War, 1941-1945, Moscow. Mr. President, dear friends, of course, it's a great honor for me to be receiving this order of Alexander Nevsky, but I think this award is a recognition of the work of the entire team of the Museum of the Great Patriotic War, and I want everyone who can hear me now to know that all of us, not only the Victory Museum, but all historical museums that have been recently united in one organization, we have always been defending the historical truth. And I invite all of you, dear friends, to the Victory Museum, because there we not only hold and preserve the memory of the Great Patriotic War, but we have amazing exhibitions devoted to heroes of the special military operation as well. Thank you. Thank you very much. For courage and valor shown in combat duty under extreme conditions, the Order of Courage is awarded to Major General of Domestic Service Arsen Grigoryan, head of Emerkon Department in Tverska District.
Dmitry Rasputikov, Captain and Deputy Commander of the group of the 33rd Unit of Special Forces of the Central District of National Guard of the Russian Federation. Commander-in-Chief, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor for me to receive this award here. I'd like to express my gratitude to all the staff, all the servicemen, because for an officer, an award is an award for his men. And now performing the duties on the front lines of the special military operation, we face new manifestation of fascism and Nazism, and these vultures are trying to attack Russia and our children and our wives. So I'd like to express my gratitude to everyone who supports us, to all the men all the guys who work with us on the front lines of the special military operation, to the commanding officers on the Ministry of Defense. And our motto is victor, win to survive, to live on, uh, to continue to defend our motherland. Thank you. The medal courage is awarded the medal for saving those in need is awarded to Yevgeny Zavolotsky, the Kherson region. For merits in healthcare, agriculture, and the development of spiritual and cultural traditions. For many years of diligent service, the Pirogov Order is awarded to Yevgeny Zhelitsyn, head of the Children's Department of the Healthcare Center of the Donetsk People's Republic. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for this high award. This is thanks to the work of everyone at the hospital. Nikolai Pirogov once said that war is an epidemic of traumas. So for 9 years, the Republican Trauma Center here in the Donetsk People's Republic have been working daily to defend, to save the lives of both civilians and servicemen, and unfortunately, even the lives of children. Our center has suffered shelling 3 times in the past year. Just 3 years ago, 3 weeks ago, our center was shelled once again. Several of our employees were wounded in the attack. And not long before her death, Elizaveta Glinka also spoke within the walls of our hospital. She was my close friend who helped me a lot. When she spoke about your humanitarian trips to the Donbass and to Syria, she said that she was never ready. She was never sure that she would return back safely or alive. And this is a sentiment that we share. We also go to work every day, not being sure that we will survive, that we will go home in the evening, but every day we will continue to serve and perform our duty, and you can be sure of that. We have been actively working with the Institute for Children's Healthcare, named after Rochal. We've been discussing ways to treat our patients. We have received children sent to us for rehabilitation, and I'd like to use this opportunity to ask you, Mr. President, to assist in creating a similar hospital in the Donetsk People's Republic. Such a hospital would unite all types of doctors and specialists that could help our children. So each of us remained in our home in the Donbass. It is Russia, it is part of Russia, and we, no matter the difficulties, we continue to believe that peace will arrive, that daily shellings of Donetsk and Lugansk will stop, that our children will be able to go to schools, and Once again, Mr. President, I'd like to thank you for this high appraisal of our work, for your understanding, and for your support. Thank you, and for giving us hope. And the Order of Honor is awarded to Damba Ayushev, the Pandito Hambo Lama, and the head of the Buddhist Traditional Sangha of Russia. Mr. President, friends, today it's a deeply symbolic thing to me, and I'd like to say that it's a great honor for me to receive this award here. Next year we'll be marking the 60-year, 260-year anniversary of becoming part of Russia. We have been part of Russia for over 250 years. We have been practicing our Buddhist faith, and I hope that we have merited this opportunity to build a Buddhist temple in Moscow, just like in St. Petersburg. And I believe that us Buddhists have shown that we are also as responsible and as loyal as anyone else. We keep fighting on the front lines of the special military operation. I know that you have awarded one of our men posthumously for his valor on the front lines. It's a great honor for us, and to us, to the next generations, that will be something that will keep pushing them forward towards service, towards protecting their homeland. One more thing I'd like to say is that this award that we've received is an award for all of us, for Buddhists of Russia. Thank you, Mr. President. Olga Bas, Senator of the Russian Federation, Lugansk People's Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, today I am overwhelmed by pride for receiving this award. This is a new award to the Lugansk People's Republic. I'm happy to represent this new part of Russia here today. And this is a great thing. We look back to history. Representatives of all of the Soviet Union came to the Donbass at some point in history. They worked together to develop and extract natural resources. And today we continue to defend our people there. We will certainly be victorious in liberating our land from all enemies. There are many nationalities presented here in this hall. There are many names of different ethnicities that we've heard, but we are always united and no one will ever subjugate us. I serve Russia and I serve the Lugansk People's Republic. Thank you. Nikolai Savelyev, United Construction Corporation, Moscow. The Order of Friendship is awarded to Alexei Gurevich, head of the Department of the Federation of Jewish Communities of Russia.
Dear Mr. President, dear friends, colleagues, I'm very proud for this, that motherland has so highly valued my humble contribution to our common cause, to the cause of building and strengthening a happy and powerful country that is Russia. Of course, words of gratitude are in order for the Minister of Justice of the Russian Federation for making the conditions and their efforts for keeping the traditional values and strengthening the legislation of the country. I also should note the role and active contribution of the military political department of the Ministry of Defense, the armed forces of the Russian Federation, for establishing the Institute of Military Clergy, people who do their combat duty right now in the special military operation. In Russia, we do not dilute the identity of any nation or ethnicity. None of them is forgotten. Every one of them is valued and cherished by the country. Russia in itself is a unique example of interconfessional peace and harmony. And this is achieved through your wise and balanced policy towards traditional confessions that you have been pursuing throughout your tenure. May God bless you for that. I solemnly promise that I will continue my service to the Jewish community and my beloved motherland. I serve Russia. Alexei Savelyev, tractor driver of the Oktyabrskaya Rural Facility. Hans-Joachim Frey, Creative Director of Talent and Success Educational Foundation. Dear Mr. President, dear guests, dear colleagues, my Russian is not very good, but I live in Moscow. I work in Sochi, Sirius, and I like it very much. It is a huge honor for me to be receiving this order. Mr. Putin, Mr. President, it's a great honor for me. I chose deliberately to work on the Russian side. I love Russia's history and culture, and I hope that we will continue to work together for the benefit of Russia. Haidar Hafizov, Mufti, chairman of the religious organization Regional Spiritual Directorate of Muslims of the Yamalo-Nenetsk Autonomous District. Mr. President, dear guests, it's a great honor to me to be standing here and receiving this order. This order is extremely important to me, and I share it with my teacher, Supreme Mufti Talgat Tajuddin, chairman of the spiritual community of the Muslims of Russia, my family. Russia is a country preserved by God, a sacred country. All traditional confessions there, they're not imported. This is where our motherland is, this is where our roots are. Just recently, we were celebrated in the ancient city of Bulgar, and we value the fact that the Muslims of Russia live in a friendly, neighborly manner with Buddhists and Jews and Orthodox people, keeping the traditional foundations of their confessions. I came here from Yamal Peninsula, where people live in peace and friendship. And today, Yamal is one of the locomotive forces of Russia. And I share this award with the Muslims of Yamal as well. I can't help saying, Mr. President, that you stood at the roots of eradicating radical Islam and Wahhabism in Russia. And since the beginning of 2000s, I have supported and no Wahhabite, no Satan can bring us apart, the spiritual space of our motherland. And we, the clergy of Islam, we're on the front battle lines. We don't have rifles or pistols, but in our prayers, we defend our motherland. From the very first days of the special military operation, the Central Spiritual Directorate of the Muslims of Russia decided to completely support the special military operation. And today, in days of mobilization, imams and clergy of Yamal were among the conscripts, helping them and providing spiritual service to them, together with Orthodox priests. Russia is a country saved by God, and we will never allow it to happen that our country is spat upon. We'll never allow it to happen that our country is trampled. Victory will be ours. God save you all, everyone here and our motherland as well. Thank you. The honorary title of the honored worker of the agriculture of the Russian Federation is being awarded to Lyra Murzabekova, machine milking operator of Agrofirma Agricultural Company, Saratov Oblast. For great merits in strengthening friendship and cooperation among nations and many years of faithful state service, for 50 years of impeccable service, is awarded to Sergei Lebedev, Secretary General of the Commonwealth of Independent States. Dear Mr. President, dear friends and colleagues, it's a great honor to be receiving this award from the hands of the President of the Russian Federation. In 1971, when I was taking my military oath, I uttered the sacred words serving the Soviet Union. And now, in position of the Secretary General of the Commonwealth of Independent States, I'm happy to have the opportunity to continue serving our great and mighty motherland. Our Russia is going through hard times now, and we all sincerely wish it victory. And I'm sure that in such conditions, it is vitally important for Russia to retain friendly relationships and neighborly relationships with CIS countries. And I assure you, I will do everything I can to pursue this mission. I'd like to use this occasion to congratulate you on demonstration of mutual understanding and friendly relationships with CIS leaders that we saw very well on the 9th of May on the Red Square. The Supreme Eurasian Economic Council session is taking place tomorrow. The CIS leaders are coming for that, and I wish you best of luck and success in strengthening mutual ties and cooperation. Thank you very much for your trust, for high evaluation of my work. I serve Russia. For great merit in the cause of education and patriotic upbringing of young people, for showing great moral and spiritual qualities and doing civic duties in defending the interests of the Russian Federation. The special sign for mentorship is awarded to Nina Akulova, teacher and mentor of the hero of the Russian Federation, Sergei Polushin.
Alexander Plesnyov, teacher and mentor of the hero of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Kiselev. Mr. President, friends, I am grateful for being awarded this honor as a mentor. The year of mentor has only just begun. There are a lot of meetings and events ahead of us. Soon we will be marking the 30-year anniversary since the carrying out of the ski transfer of cadets to Moscow. This event is not just a skiing event, and that goes not just for the participants, but for everyone who is associated with the event. Unfortunately, it hasn't been held for the past few years for a number of reasons. First, the pandemic, and then the special military operation. But I'd like to believe that despite all the difficulties and all the challenges of modern life, this tradition will be reborn again, strengthened, and that not just the airborne troops of Russia will take part in it, but also cadets of the associated educational institutions and military academies. So I'd like to dedicate this event to the servicemen of the Russian armed forces who perished in the special military operation defending their homeland. Thank you. Natalia Chebakova, teacher and mentor of the hero of the Russian Federation, Dmitry Perminov. Nina Chishayeva, teacher and mentor of hero of the Russian Federation, Alexander Chishayev. Honorary title of the teacher of the Russian Federation is awarded to Tatiana Shepkova. Mr. President, friends, I'm thankful to you and the motherland for inviting me, a simple teacher from the agricultural region, with this great award. Throughout all of my teaching career, I have not only been just a teacher or a principal, but I have been a mentor and a friend to my students and pupils. I have over over 1,000. I have had over 1,000 teachers. Many of them are now officers of the Russian armed forces. Many of them are now defending their motherland in the special military operation. 5 have perished. Alexei Asokin was given the honor of the title of the hero of the Russian Federation posthumously. And so my my soul hurts because of this tragedy, but I'm happy that my fellow teachers have brought up this honorable men that became heroes of their country. I will continue to be teacher, mentor, and friend of our younger generation for the betterment of our great homeland. So as long as people like you are alive, we will be victorious. Honorary title, the uh, honorary worker of physical culture of the Russian Federation is awarded to Sagit Ibragimov, who mentored the hero of the Russian Federation, Artyom Kuzin. Honorary titled honorary teacher of the Russian Federation is awarded to Irina Konstantinova, teacher and mentor of hero of the Russian Federation, Alexei Kovalchuk. Tatiana Ashepkova, teacher and mentor of hero of the Russian Federation, Pavel Astanin. Maria Trofimenko, teacher and mentor of hero of the Russian Federation, Eduard Tsev. Prize for the young creators of culture, and the winner of the prize of the President of the Russian Federation for contribution into the development and popularization of choreography and ballet. The award is awarded to Sergei Polunin, ballet dancer and acting rector of the of the Academy of Choreography. Friends, just moments ago, a doctor from the Donbass, a children's doctor, said that over the past 9 years, the Donbass has been fighting back and against the attacks of our enemies, attacking it. For 9 years, the Donbass had been under fire. We often hear that allege that Russia has started a war, but it's not like that. Russia has launched a special military operation to try and put an end to the war that's being waged against us. And part of our people, due to historic some historical injustice has been stranded outside of our territory, and Russia will do everything to support and help these people. And it is much thanks to people like heroes we see here today, is that we are able to achieve this goal. We've just heard uh, the ways in which our country has become stronger, more independent, more self-reliant, and sovereignty cannot be achieved without self-reliance, and self-reliance must be uh, practiced everywhere in science and technology, in healthcare, in creativity. And yes, we've spoken about this many times. Russia is going through a difficult period, and like we've heard today, there haven't been a lot of easy times for our country, but right now is a time of great consolidation, of unity, of striving to strengthen the basis of our spiritual strength, to help educate and bring up the younger generations of our men and women. And you are making a great contribution, a palpable contribution into that cause. Thank you.